Captain Zara checked her watch again. 3 days. 3 days since Colony Delta 7 had sent any message to the Galactic Communications Center. The mining colony was home to 10,000 people. Humans mostly. They worked the asteroid belt, pulling rare metals from floating rocks. Good people. Hard workers. They never missed their daily check-in calls until now. "Captain," called Officer Rax from his station. His blue skin looked pale with worry. Still nothing from Delta 7. Complete radio silence. Zara walked to the main screen. The colony showed up as a tiny dot on the star map. So small, so far from help. Any other ships in that sector? Negative, Captain. The nearest patrol is 2 days away. She made her decision. Set course for Delta 7, maximum speed. Their ship, the Starbound, was fast, built for rescue missions across the galaxy. As they traveled through space, Zara tried to think of simple reasons for the silence. Maybe their radio broke. Maybe a solar storm hit their equipment. Maybe they were just too busy working. But deep down, she knew something was wrong. 2 days later, they arrived at the asteroid field. Colony Delta 7 sat on the largest rock, its silver domes gleaming in the starlight. The lights were on. The air recyclers were running. Everything looked normal. Too normal. Life signs? Zara asked. Officer Rax ran his scanners over the colony. His face grew more worried. "That's strange, Captain. I'm reading the colony's population as 0. 0. Check again. I've checked 3 times. No heartbeats. No brain activity. No movement. It's like the whole place is empty." Zara felt a cold chill run down her back. But the power is still running. The life support is working. Someone should be there. They docked with the colony's main port. The airlock opened with its usual hiss. Normal sounds, normal procedures. But no people came to greet them. The team put on their spacesuits and entered the colony. The hallways were bright and clean. Music played softly from hidden speakers. The smell of fresh bread drifted from the kitchen areas, but no people. "Hello?" called out Officer Rax. "Anyone here?" Only echoes answered back. They split into teams to search the colony faster. Team 1 checked the living quarters. Beds were made. Personal items sat on tables. Coffee cups were still half full, but no people. Team 2 searched the work areas. Mining equipment sat ready to use. Computer screens showed work reports from 3 days ago. Tools lay scattered on workbenches, but no people. Team 3 found the most disturbing thing of all. "Captain," came a voice over the radio. "You need to see this. Dining hall level 3. Zara hurried to the location. Inside the dining hall, she found something that made her blood freeze. Dinner plates sat on tables still full of food. The food was still warm. Steam rose from hot soup bowls. Fresh salad looked like it had just been served, but the chairs were empty. "This doesn't make sense," whispered Officer Rax. "It's like everyone just disappeared." In the middle of eating, Zara touched one of the soup bowls. Hot, very hot. This food was served maybe an hour ago. Where did everyone go? They searched more areas. The medical center was empty, but the computers showed no recent injuries or sickness. The security office was abandoned, but all the cameras were still recording. The control room had no operators, but all the systems were running perfectly. Then Officer Rax made a discovery that changed everything. "Captain, look at this." He pointed to the metal walls in the main corridor. Long, deep scratches ran along the silver surface, like claw marks, but these weren't made by any tool they knew. The scratches were too deep, too wide, and there were too many of them. "What could make marks like this?" asked Rax. Zara ran her fingers along the scratches. The metal was harder than steel. Whatever made these marks was incredibly strong. "I don't know, but I don't think we're dealing with equipment failure." They found more claw marks in other areas, always on the walls, always deep, always in groups of 4 or 5 parallel lines. Then they found the security office recordings. The last video was from 3 days ago. It showed the dining hall at dinner time. Families sat at tables eating and talking. Children laughed. Adults discussed their workday. Everything was normal and happy until the lights went out. When the emergency lighting came on 10 seconds later, the dining hall was empty. Food sat on tables. Chairs were pushed back quickly, but 10,000 people had simply vanished. The final recording was just audio. A man's voice, shaky and scared. "This is Colony Delta 7 if anyone receives this message. They're not what we thought they were. They're not. Oh God, they're coming back. Don't come here. Don't send help. Just stay away. There. The recording cut off. Zara and her team stood in the empty security office, listening to the silence that followed. 10,000 people, gone without a trace. No bodies, no signs of struggle. Just empty rooms and claw marks on the walls, and somewhere in the darkness of the colony, something moved. Captain Zara ordered her team back to the ship immediately. Whatever happened to Colony Delta 7, she didn't want her crew to face the same fate. The empty colony felt like a trap waiting to spring. "Get us out of here," she told the pilot. "Full speed to the nearest galactic station." As the Starbound left the asteroid field, Officer Rax monitored all communication channels. They needed to report this mystery to headquarters. 10,000 missing people was the biggest disaster in decades. But then something strange happened. "Captain," Rax called out, his voice excited. "I'm picking up a distress signal." "From the colony?" "No, ma'am. From deep space. Very far away." Zara frowned. "Put it on speakers." The bridge filled with static and noise. Then, through the crackling sounds, came a voice. But it wasn't human. It wasn't like any voice they had ever heard. It sounded scared, desperate, and very, very hungry. The ship's computer tried to translate the alien language. Words appeared on the screen. "Help us, dying. They took everything. Please help." "They?" asked Zara. "Who's they?" More words appeared. "The hunters. They came from the small rock. Killed our children. Ate our families. Help us." Officer Rax checked his instruments. "Captain, this signal is coming from the Vega system. That's 3 sectors away from here." Zara studied the translated message. Small rock? Could they mean the asteroid where Colony Delta 7 was located? Are they talking about the humans from the colony? "Please, anyone. The hunters are coming back. We are the last ones left. Help." The signal grew weaker, then stronger again. Someone was definitely in trouble, but something felt wrong about the whole situation. Before Zara could decide what to do, her ship's long-range sensors went crazy with alerts. "Captain," shouted Rax, "multiple ships approaching our location. Big ones." The main screen showed 3 massive fleets coming toward them from different directions. Each fleet had dozens of warships. The ships were unlike anything Zara had ever seen. The first fleet belonged to the Keth Empire. Their ships looked like giant metal spiders with glowing red eyes. The Keth were known as fierce warriors who never backed down from a fight. The second fleet came from the Zil Confederation. Their vessels were smooth and white, shaped like ocean waves. The Zil were master tacticians and expert planners. The third fleet belonged to the Moor Collective. Their ships were dark and angular, covered in weapon ports. The Moor were famous for their advanced technology and cold logic. 3 of the most powerful alien races in the galaxy, whispered Rax, all coming here at the same time. They must have heard the distress call too. Zara realized a communication request came from the lead Keth ship. On screen appeared Commander Thex, a tall alien with 4 arms and sharp teeth. His red eyes glowed with anger. "Human vessel," he growled. "We received a distress call from the Vega system. It spoke of hunters from a small rock. Hunters who killed families and ate children. We know of your colony on that asteroid." Before Zara could respond, another screen opened. Commander Yiel of the Zil fleet appeared. She was blue-skinned, with large black eyes full of suspicion. The distress call was very specific, Yiel said in her musical voice. It described creatures who took everything, who hunted for sport. The signal came from refugees in the Vega system. A third screen activated. Commander Dorr of the Moor Collective spoke in a mechanical voice. Analysis complete. The hunters mentioned in the distress call match the disappearance pattern at Colony Delta 7. All evidence points to human involvement. Zara felt her heart racing. Wait, you think humans did this? You think the colonists killed these aliens? The timeline matches, said Commander Thex. Your colony goes silent. Refugees in Vega send distress calls about hunters from a small rock. Very convenient. But our people are missing too, protested Zara. 10,000 humans disappeared. Commander Yiel's eyes narrowed. Or 10,000 humans spread out to hunt in other systems. The 3 alien fleets moved closer. Weapon systems powered up on dozens of ships. They surrounded the Starbound completely. You will come with us to the Vega system, declared Commander Dorr. You will face justice for what your species has done. This is crazy," Zara said. "You've got it all wrong." But even as she spoke, her ship's sensors detected something that made her blood turn to ice. Something huge was approaching from the direction of Colony Delta 7. Something bigger than all three alien fleets combined. "Captain," whispered Officer Rax, staring at his screen. "You're not going to believe this." On the long-range sensors, a massive ship appeared. It was dark, twisted, and covered in the same kind of claw marks they had found on the colony walls, and it was heading straight for them. The massive ship grew larger on their screens. It was 3 times bigger than the largest alien warship. Dark metal covered its hull, twisted and bent in strange ways. Those claw marks were everywhere, like something had tried to tear the ship apart from the inside. Captain Zara watched as the 3 alien fleets turned their weapons toward the approaching vessel. Whatever was coming, it scared them more than the humans did. All fleets. "Prepare for battle," commanded Commander Thex of the Keth. His forearms moved quickly over his weapon controls. But then something unexpected happened. The dark ship sent a communication signal. When it came through the speakers, everyone could hear crying. Soft, sad crying like children who had lost their parents. "Please," came a weak voice. "Don't shoot. We are hurt. We need help." The translation appeared on screen. "Survivors. Barely alive. The hunters destroyed our world. We are the last of our kind." Commander Yill of the Zill looked confused. "They're asking for help. They sound scared." The dark ship moved closer, but very slowly, like it was trying not to frighten anyone. As it got nearer, they could see damage all over its surface. Holes in the hull, broken weapon systems, burn marks from terrible battles. "Please, we have children aboard. They are hungry. We have been running for so long." Captain Zara felt sorry for whoever was on that ship. They sounded desperate and afraid. "Open a channel," she ordered. On the main screen appeared the most pitiful sight any of them had ever seen. The aliens looked like tall, thin humans, but with pale gray skin and large black eyes. Their clothes were torn and dirty. Many had bandages covering wounds. Some were carrying small children who looked weak and tired. "Thank you for not shooting," said their leader, a tall female with tears running down her face. "I am Mother Sill of the Vex people. We have been fleeing the hunters for many days." "What hunters?" asked Commander Dor of the Moore Collective. Mother Sill's large eyes filled with more tears. "The creatures from the small rock. They came to our world in the Vega system. At first they seemed friendly. They said they wanted to trade with us. But then..." She stopped talking and covered her face with her hands. "What happened then?" asked Zara gently. "They started hunting us. For sport. For food. They enjoyed our fear. Our children. They took our children first." Mother Sill sobbed. "We tried to fight back, but they were too strong. Too smart. Too hungry." Commander Thex leaned forward. "Describe these hunters." "They looked harmless at first. Small compared to us. Pink skin, no claws or fangs. But they had tools. Terrible tools. And they worked together like a pack of wild animals." The 3 alien commanders looked at each other, then at Captain Zara. The description matched humans perfectly. "How many of you escaped?" asked Commander Yill. "Only 500 from a population of 50 million, Mother Sill whispered. "They killed everyone else. Or worse, they kept some alive for entertainment." "This is impossible," said Zara. "Humans don't do things like that." Mother Sill looked directly at her through the screen. "You are human, yes? Like the ones who destroyed us?" "Yes, but..." "Then you know what your people are capable of." Commander Thex's red eyes glowed brighter. "The evidence is clear. Humans are a threat to the entire galaxy." But something bothered Captain Zara about this story. "Wait a minute. You said the hunters came from a small rock, right?" "Yes." "And you sent a distress call from the Vega system?" "Yes, hoping someone would help us." "But the Vega system is 3 sectors away from our colony. How did you get your ship there so fast if you were refugees running for your lives?" Mother Sill's expression changed for just a moment. Her large eyes seemed less sad and more calculating. We had fast ships, fast enough to outrun my rescue vessel, fast enough to send a signal and then appear here within hours." The other commanders were watching this exchange carefully. Something didn't add up. Officer Rax checked his instruments quietly, then whispered to Zara. "Captain, their ship's energy signature is strange. It's not showing signs of battle damage on the inside, only on the outside. Zara nodded. Mother Sill, would you mind if we sent over a medical team to help your injured people? For the first time, Mother Sill looked nervous. That's not necessary. We can care for our own, I insist. We humans always help those in need. Mother Sill's face went completely pale. Behind her, other Vex aliens started moving around quickly, like they were preparing for something. Actually, Mother Sill said, and her voice was different now. Harder, more dangerous. We don't need your help anymore. The crying sounds stopped. The sad expressions disappeared, and Captain Zara realized they had just walked into a trap. All ships, she broadcast quickly, battle stations. They're not the victims. But it was too late. The dark ship's weapons powered up, and they were nothing like the broken systems they appeared to be. Part 4, The Hunt, begins HFY sci-fi story, 800 words. The Vex ship's weapons fired first. Bright energy beams cut through space toward the alien fleets. But these weren't the desperate shots of refugees. These were precise, deadly strikes from experienced hunters. Commander Thex's ship took a direct hit. His angry voice crackled over the radio. All ships, fire at will. They deceived us. The battle erupted across the asteroid field. 3 alien fleets against 1 dark ship. But the Vex vessel moved like nothing they had ever seen. It twisted and turned through space, avoiding most attacks while striking back with devastating accuracy. Captain Zara watched in horror as 2 Zill ships exploded in bright flashes. Get us out of here, she shouted to her pilot, but Mother Sill's voice came over their communications, no longer weak and crying. Now it was cold and hungry. You cannot leave, little human. We need you alive for questioning. Questioning about what? About where your people hide. About how many worlds you have infected with your presence. A tractor beam locked onto the starbound. The human ship couldn't move. They were trapped while the battle raged around them. Officer Rax worked frantically at his console. Captain, I'm detecting something in the colony's security files. Emergency backup recordings. Show me. On screen appeared grainy footage from Colony Delta 7, recorded weeks ago. It showed the colonists working normally, mining asteroids and living their daily lives. But then the recordings changed. The footage showed a Vex ship approaching the colony. But this ship looked different. It was clean and bright, not damaged like the one they faced now. The Vex aliens who came out looked healthy and well-fed. First contact, whispered Zara. The colonists thought they were meeting friendly aliens. The recording showed humans greeting the Vex with gifts and food. The colonists were excited to meet a new species. Children drew pictures of the strange visitors. Adults prepared welcome ceremonies. Everything seemed peaceful for several days. Then the real recordings began. The Vex had been studying the humans, learning their habits, finding their weaknesses. The aliens were patient hunters who took time to understand their prey. The attack came at dinner time, just like Zara had suspected. But it wasn't humans hunting Vex. It was Vex hunting humans. The footage showed Vex aliens moving through the colony with terrifying speed and strength. Their friendly masks were gone. Now they showed their true faces, faces with too many teeth and eyes that glowed with hunger. The humans tried to fight back, but they were caught completely by surprise. Families were separated. Children were taken first, just like Mother Sill had said. But the Vex were the ones doing the taking. They're farmers, Zara realized with horror. They don't just hunt, they farm other species. The recording showed humans being loaded onto Vex ships. Not killed, captured, kept alive for some terrible purpose. But then, something unexpected happened in the footage. A group of human miners fought back harder than the Vex expected. Led by a woman named Sarah Chen, they used mining explosives to damage the Vex ship. Several aliens were killed. Sarah Chen looked directly into a security camera before the recording ended. If anyone finds this, don't trust them. They're not what they seem. And tell Earth. Tell Earth we need the hunters. The recording cut out. The hunters? Asked Officer Rax. What did she mean? Before Zara could answer, their ship's long-range sensors detected something new. Something that made her heart race with hope and fear at the same time. A human fleet was approaching. But these weren't rescue ships like the Starbound. These were warships, dark, angular vessels covered in weapon systems. Ships built for one purpose, hunting. The lead ship was massive, painted black with red markings. On its side was a symbol, a human skull with crossed bones beneath it. "This is Admiral Kane of the Earth Defense Fleet," came a calm, cold voice over the radio. "We received Sarah Chen's message 3 days ago." Mother Sill's confident expression suddenly changed to fear. "Impossible. We destroyed all communications from the colony." "You destroyed the regular channels," Admiral Kane replied. "But miners always have backup systems. Deep space emergency beacons that activate when colonies go silent. The human fleet moved into attack formation. Unlike the alien ships, they didn't rush in. They spread out slowly, surrounding the Vex vessel from all directions." "This is how humans hunt," Kane continued. "We don't attack in anger. We plan, we prepare. We make sure our prey has nowhere to run." The 3 alien commanders watched in amazement as the human ships moved like parts of a single mind. No wasted movement, no unnecessary risks, pure calculated efficiency. Mother Sill's ship tried to run, but everywhere it turned, human vessels were waiting. "You made one mistake," Admiral Kane said, his voice getting colder. "You took our people, and humans never abandon their own." The Vex ship fired desperately in all directions, but the human fleet absorbed the attacks and kept closing in. "Now you'll learn why Earth keeps the hunters." The human hunter fleet moved in perfect formation around the trapped Vex ship. No escape routes, no mercy. Admiral Kane's voice cut through the silence like a blade. "Surrender now, and we will make it quick." Mother Sill's ship fired desperately at the nearest human vessel. The energy beam struck the dark hull but barely left a mark. The human ship didn't even return fire. It just waited. "Your weapons cannot hurt us," Kane said calmly. "We learned from the species you destroyed. We adapted their technology. We became better." Commander Thex of the Keth watched from his damaged ship. "What are those humans? They fight like machines." Commander Yeel of the Zill was running full scans on the human fleet. "Their ships. They're using technology from dozens of different species." "How is that possible?" Commander Dor of the Maw Collective had access to the galaxy's greatest databases. What he found terrified him. "According to our records, Earth established the Hunter program 50 years ago, after the first alien species tried to invade human space." "What happened to those invaders?" asked Zara from the Starbound. "They disappeared completely. Every ship, every trace. The galaxy assumed humans were destroyed." "We were never destroyed." Admiral Kane's voice came over the open channel. "We learned. We evolved. We became what we needed to become." The Vex ship made one final desperate attempt to escape. It fired all weapons at once, creating a massive explosion that lit up space like a small sun. For a moment, it seemed like they might break through the human formation. But when the light faded, the human ships were still there, undamaged, unmoved, waiting. "Impossible," whispered Mother Sill. "What are you?" "We are what you made us," Kane replied. "Every species that attacked humanity taught us something new. The Krell taught us their shield technology before we ended them. The Vorth showed us their speed before they vanished. The Zek gave us their weapons before we hunted them to extinction." The 3 alien commanders felt fear growing in their hearts. How many species had tried to hunt humans? How many had simply disappeared? "You see," Kane continued, "humans have a unique trait. We adapt, we learn, we survive. But more importantly, we remember." The hunter ships began to glow with strange energy. Not weapons, something else. Something that made the space around them shimmer and bend. For 50 years, we have been the galaxy's secret guardians. When a species becomes too dangerous, too hungry, too cruel, we are cold. We handle the problems that others cannot. Mother Sill's ship started to shake. The energy from the human vessels was affecting their engines, their weapons, their life support. "We know about your farming worlds," Kane said. 7 planets where you keep other species like cattle. Billions of innocent beings suffering for your hunger. How could you know that?" Mother Sill demanded. "Because we rescued some of your livestock 20 years ago. They told us everything. Since then we have been planning, preparing, learning your weaknesses." The Vex ship systems began shutting down one by one, not from weapons fire, but from some kind of technological virus the humans had developed. "Your ship will stop working in 60 seconds, Kane announced. "Your weapons are already offline. Your engines will fail next. Then life support. Please." Mother Sill begged, her voice returning to the fake crying from before. "We have children aboard." "No, you don't. Our scans show your ship contains only adult warriors and genetic samples from the species you have destroyed, including samples from our colonists." The lie was exposed. The Vex had no children. They had no refugees. Only hunters pretending to be victims. "What will you do with us?" Mother Sill asked, her voice now filled with real fear. "The same thing we did to all the others who threatened innocent life. You will simply disappear." The human ships moved closer. Strange devices extended from their hulls. The three alien commanders watched in horror as the Vex vessel began to dissolve. Not explode. Dissolve. Like it was being eaten by invisible creatures. "What is that technology?" gasped Commander Yill. "Something we learned from a species called the Devourers," Kane explained. "They tried to consume Earth's oceans 50 years ago. Now their technology serves us." Within minutes, the massive Vex ship was completely gone. No wreckage, no debris. Nothing remained to prove it had ever existed. The human fleet turned toward the three alien commanders. For a moment, everyone thought they would be next. "Do not worry," Admiral Kane said. "You came here to help. You tried to save innocent life. Humans protect those who protect others. But remember this day." His voice grew cold again. "Remember what happens to species that hunt for sport, that farm other beings, that prey on the innocent." The hunter fleet began to fade away, using some kind of stealth technology. "The galaxy is vast," Kane's final words echoed through space. "But it is not large enough to hide from Earth's hunters. We are always watching, always waiting, always ready." As the human ships disappeared, the three alien commanders looked at each other with new understanding. Humanity wasn't just another species. They were the apex predators of the entire galaxy, and they were the reason the universe could sleep safely at night.